Okay. So very good morning to all. Early in the morning. So yesterday we have to discuss depreciation. So up to that now we have to know how to calculate the depreciation and other things. So I just explain one example. So there are some few calculation methods and examples out there. Today I am not discuss about that one. So Monday we have to discuss that one. Before that, we have to start. The other section is the incomplete records. Okay. So already it is discussed or not? Not no. Incomplete record.
Not, sir.
No. Sorry.
No, sir.
Not discuss. I couldn't hear.
Not discuss, sir.
Yes. No.
Discuss, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So today we have to discuss the incomplete record. The ultimate purpose of the incomplete record to prepare the accounting process and report from the incomplete or single entry system and converted them into double entry system. For example, you know about the basic accounting idea. The basic accounting is the double entry system. Simply, we can say when the run section is done, you have to enter the run section, the particular books of accounts. At the same time, you have to use the double entry system. Example, when you have to pay the renter, that is the expense. Okay, when you have to pay the renter, that is the expense. Rental account debit, cash account credit. That is the double entry system. Mostly the companies are preparing the double entry system. According to that one, according to the bookkeeping data, they have to enter the RAN section and prepare the financial statement. Apart from that, there is a adequate knowledge. There is no adequate knowledge. The people they do not have the knowledge of the bookkeeping. Sometimes there are some incidents happen. The books of accounts, some other informations are destroyed. So that is create the incomplete records. That is create the incomplete records. So what is the reason for inadequate business record? Why the incomplete record generated? Why incomplete record uh, incomplete record practice in the companies? Hmm? So the first reason is lack of accounting information. So due to the lack of accounting information means they didn't have any knowledge about the account. For example, there are some transactions happen when the particular company started. There are some transactions happen such as capital, invested capital. There are some material purchase. There are some expenses incurred. There are some income generated. There are some so sales happen. So each and every transaction ended in not in the double entry system. Just they have to enter. Capital 2 million. Just you pay the uh, just you purchase some fixed asset. Just another fixed asset. Huh? Property, plant, and equipment, furniture, building, land. Just say they have to enter the amount. Hmm? And purchase some material. Just enter the material. Only the creditor's name. There is no any other transaction. So the lack of knowledge create the incomplete record. Maintain concentration on the primary activity. Main concentration on the primary activity. So just they have to enter the primary activity. They cannot be. They did not transfer the transaction into the books of accounts or any other ledgers. lack of knowledge on legislative requirement for accounting. Yes, for example, the primary books, cash receipt journal, cash receipt day book, cash payment day book. So all the books are there. Purchase day book, sales day book, other ledgers, journal entries. Some are there. So they did not have lack of knowledge on that legislative requirement. Okay. So hiding the cash transaction for tax avoidance. So for the ultimate purpose of the tax avoidance, they have to hide, they have to ignore, they have to manipulate the transaction. So they have to guide hiding the cash transaction. So that is leads to the inadequate business record. Confusing business and personal banking transactions. Some transaction happen. That is as usual, transactions are happen. But without entering the books of accounts, that is some confusing. For example, check, the written check for the creditors. There is no entry regarding the written check. Only the customer payment amount just should be credited in the creditor's account. That is the thing. Another thing is lost accounting records. Lost accounting records. Lost accounting records mean due to the fire or due to the theft, some of the accounts are record are missing. So due to that reason, the reason for inadequate business records. 1 minute. So these are the reason for the inadequate business records. Sources of information. So, for example, if it is a grocery shop, so simple example, no. Sometimes you have some experience, so your relatives, or your father or mother, or so your brother or sister, or someone running the grocery shop. So they have to enter the one transaction. For example, so they have to sell some product. So that they have to enter the cash. Cash this much, cash this much. Second transaction, cash this much. They did not consider the stock wise. Sometimes they have to purchase some materials or items for their grocery shop. So in that time, they have to enter for this company or for this, for example, biscuit packets, Anchor milk powder. There are 5 boxes. 5 boxes means 5 containers. Each container 12, 5, 60. So total Anchor packet, they have to write down the total amount. Just they have to enter the particular information. So the sources of information, where we can get the information, where we can find out the information. Bank records. The bank records mean bank statement. So you can identify what is the balance of the opening, what is the closing balance, how many checks are deposited, how many checks are returned, how many checks are transferred to the creditors? It is the amount. What are the standing order? What are the direct deposit? Or what are the other charges, interest? So all the things are you can get from the bank records. Account receivable means, so how much of the credit sale, how much of the discount paid, discount allowed. What about your bad debt? Like that, the account payable. How is your credit purchase? Account received, how to say, the discount receivable. So the return inward, return outward, all the things are you can identify from the account receivable and accounts payable. So business activity statement, installment activity statement. So this is a different insurance companies, banking and finance organization. The previous accountant, sometimes the previous accountant retired, sometimes previous accountant left from the company. So a new one appointed without the accounting knowledge. So these are the things are the sources of information. Then advantages of the double entry accounting. Double entry accounting. So advantages means debit is equal credit. What do you mean that one? Debit is equal credit. So the particular transaction done, for example, purchase a machinery. So the machinery account debit, cash account credit. The debit 5 million, cash 5 million. So debit is equal credit. So like that, each and every transaction happen. So the total debit is equal to total credit. Okay, so balancing control. Without balance, any balance. So for example, you have to all the transactions are happened. So you have to enter into the books of account. Then you have to find out there are some error. There is no equal. Debt not is equal to debit not is equal to credit. Not equal to credit. So in that time you have to identify which mistake happened. Okay. So I think in the first semester you have to study the first year time you have to study the financial accounting, the basic things. Okay. So all the transactions are recorded. It is important. You have to find out sometime one, so double entry system not completed. So you have to enter one transaction, debit transaction happen. Sometime credit transaction not entered in the books of accounts. All the transactions are happen. All the transactions are recorded in the double entry system. Okay. Easier to detect the fraudulent practices and error. So if you are following the double entry system, you can identify. You can identify the errors and fraudulent records. Records are kept in the business assets. Liabilities are known. So you can know the liability. Profit and loss calculated on the regular basis. So if you are following the double entry system, the profit and loss are calculated in the regular basis. Then budget comparison can be made. So it is advanced. So budget comparison means the budget. What do you mean by budget? You have to prepare for the future activities. So you can study in the management accounting, or cost and management accounting. I think you completed cost and management accounting. I think so. Ratio and business and sales forecast and management information initially determined. So these are the things are there. You will study in the advance next year because this year, second semester is important one for you because the most of the subject are specialization subject. So if you not fail to get the B plus in the particular subject, you cannot be allowed for the specialization. That is important. Hmm? So I think there are some limitation in the accounting specialization. Most probably the BBA honors, BBA honors in marketing, BBA honors in HRM, BCom honors in accounting and finance, BCom honors in enterprise development, BCom honors in business economics. So these specialization not allowed those who get the particular requirement. So that is up to you. Okay. So some other informations I received from the staff, the lower attendance. That is not to us. That is up to you. Okay. So that is up to you. There is no any other how to say, there is no any other there is no any other opportunity for following the specialization. The rules is the rules. Okay. So last time you heard about some other the medical cases are allowed. So this time there is no that easy rules and regulations. So if you have met the primary requirement, you are allowed the specialization. Otherwise, there is no mercy chance or any other things. So that is up to you. That is in your hand. If you are complete the preliminary requirement, if you are complete the primary requirement, you have to allow to the specialization. Otherwise, you cannot be allowed for the specialization. So please carefully study in your second year, second semester. So because it is the target for your specialization. Okay. So especially in BCom students, the BCom honors in accounting and finance, BCom honors in enterprise development, BCom honors in business economics. So you must, if you want to follow the specialization, you must consider these requirements. Okay, that is up to you. So inform to other students also these things. So the calculation of the profit and loss. So there are different methods. So that is so when you are practicing the question, you can easily identify. I'm not talking about this one, profit. So so this is the normal calculation already we know about. So in the first year, first semester, the verifying the profit. So from the capital, so you know about the closing capital. Closing capital means capital at end less opening capital. So beginning capital. So you have to identify the net change. Then you have to add the drawings less the additional capital. So that is the final ultimate is. So net asset equal to owner's equity. So it is already done by so you have to calculate the net profit from these information. Beginning capital, closing capital, drawings and additional capitals are given, so you can identify the net profit. So these are the methods you have to find out. So this is the summary. Apart from that, this is the summary. So we will do this question according to this summary. So the transaction. So you have to identify which type of transaction transfer to the statement to ascertain profit income statement. What are the transactions are transferred to the statement of financial position? So we have to go for reverse in this. Huh? Within that information, we have to prepare the final accounts. That is incomplete accounts. Okay. Okay. So this is the method. I think that is the basic idea. So we will move to the. I will upload this handout in the LMS. Yesterday one also uploaded. So now we have to move to the question and answers. Okay. So please check your LMS. And now you can find out the questions, examples in the LMS. So please go to the LMS and download the particular document. So after that 2 minutes, we have to start that exercises. Okay, please go through the LMS and down. we will start our session. So then, please download the question in the LMS. I will also take it. I think there are how many questions? I think there are 4 questions. So okay, there are 4 questions. So the basic things. The first question to basically we have to do the questions one by one. Easily you can understand. What about the first question? The sole trader does not keep any accounting records, and you have been asked to prepare the income statement and financial position for the year and financial year just ended. To do this, you need to establish the opening capital of the business at the beginning of the year. You obtain the following information about assets and liability at the beginning of the year. So calculate the capital of the business at the beginning of the year. So you have to calculate the capital. So what are the things given? Assets and liabilities are given. So how to calculate the capital? So that you know about the assets is equal to equity plus liability. Equity plus liability. Assets is equal to equity plus liability. So in the accounting equation you studied the particular basic primary accounting equation is assets equal to equity plus liability. So when you are calculating the equity, equity is equal to asset minus liability. Equity is equal to assets minus liability. So therefore, here assets and liabilities are given. So you have to find out the total assets, then you have to find out the total liability. So total assets minus total liability is the equity. Okay? So you can identify motor van, bank overdraft, cash in hand, trade payable, investment. So what are the each and every one you can identify which is assets, which is liability. So in that knowledge, you have to find out the total assets, total liability, then find out the capital. Okay, so for this purpose, I have prepared the Excel sheet. So here you can identify this is the sheet. Hmm. So here 1/1/2023. Okay, so here you can see uh, this is the statement. How to calculate the first you have to find out the assets and the liability. Okay, so this is the format you can find. Okay. So this is the equation. This is the equation. The capital is equal to assets minus liability. So just you have to enter each and every transaction in the so first you have to list out the asset and list out the liability. Assets minus liabilities, capital. Okay, so easily you can do. Okay, what about the first one? Shyam Street. Okay, the first one, motor van, 150,000. So it is an asset. First, you have to identify motor van is the asset. Bank overdraft, liability. Cash in hand, assets. Receivable, assets. Trade payable, liability. Payable for other expenses, liability, because payable is the obligation. Liability. Inventory is the asset. So you have to identify which is assets, which is liability. Then you will go for a find out the solution. Okay. So here motor van. Motor van is the asset. Motor van is the asset. Okay. Asset 150,000. Okay. Then bank overdraft. Bank overdraft is the liability. Okay. Bank overdraft. So liability. Next, cash in hand assets. Cash in hand assets. Okay. Receivable assets. Receivable assets. Then trade payable. Trade payable is the liability. Trade payable. Trade payable is the liability 25 crores. Payable for other expenses. Payable for other expenses 12,000. So here payable for other expenses 12,000. Yes. Okay, payable for other expenses 12,000 liability. Then inventory. Inventory is the assets. So inventory is the assets. Inventory is the assets. Now you can identify. You have to enter all the assets and liabilities. So you can find out the capital. So here you can find out the total assets. So total assets, you have to find out the amount 248,000. This is called as a total assets. Total asset 248,000. So like that, total liabilities. Total liability 52,000. So now you know about the total liability this much. Total assets. So total assets, total liability. So here you can identify capital is equal to assets minus liability. So therefore, so the capital is 196,000 because the total assets 248,000, liability 52,000, therefore capital 196,000. Okay. So this is understand. So it is easy. The knowledge is you know which is assets, which is liability. So find out the net amount. assets minus liability capital. Okay. So up to that, we have come with the basic things. What about the second question? So this is up to you. Just you have to find out the capital. Assets and liabilities are given in January 2023. So you have to find out the capital. So this is easy one. So only 106 people attend the lectures today. So I note it down every attendance from the LMS, from the Zoom. Okay. So already I have assigned some tutorial assignment already prepared. So I think in becoming lectures, in ongoing to the lectures, I have to given some quizzes, some other questions. So just you have to tick it. So in the Zoom, the full question will be appear. Sometime it be MCQ. So I will ask the question. So you have to enter. So that will be go for your 35% marks. Other than that, some other tutorial examination assigned in the LMS. So you can use the LMS and prepare your tutorial examination. Okay. There is no any other written and paste the written and upload the LMS. That is not useful. So in the LMS, you have to type. Use the laptop or use the desktop. You have to type and submit in the LMS. Okay, so that is important. That is, I will inform you last 2 weeks. Last week, from next week, you have to face this type of examination. Okay, so you have to prepare for it. So this is the second question. You have to find out the capital. I will give 2 minutes. So, like this, you have to prepare the statement. Capital, assets, you have to find out the total assets. Then you have to find out the liabilities. Okay, you have to find out the liability. So then you have to find out the capital. Okay, so I will give 2 minutes. You have to prepare. Okay, so what about the answer? Anyone? Any answer? If you found, you can put into the chat box. What is the capital? How much of capital? No one? So just put into the chat box. I will identify. Okay. So different answers, no? Uh, please check the answers again. So someone give the correct answer. I will give some. Hmm? Feedback for your answer. Hmm? So, okay. So that's all. Uh, someone send the correct answer. Someone there are some mistake. Mistake means you can you go you make some mistakenly you have to take an assets the liability or the liability as an assets. Okay. So we will see the answer. Okay. So there are some assets and liabilities are given. So according to that one, you have to find out the capital. It is a simple one, no? So here, so the fixtures and fitting at cost and provision is given. So therefore, the fixtures and fitting 700,000 minus depreciation for the fixtures and fitting 4,000. Sorry, 400,000. Therefore, the net amount 300,000. Okay. So the motor vehicle, like that, the motor vehicle cost and depreciation. So the net amount 520,000. Then inventory. So so these are the inventory. Inventory is the asset, trade receivable also assets, the cash at bank in hand also assets. So those are the things comes under the assets and also prepayment. Prepayment also given. So you have to find out other things. The trade payable, prepayment, accrued rent. These are the liabilities. So the liability side, uh, rent payable, accrued rent, when payable, accrued rents, prepayment. Prepayment is not given now. Prepayment is the assets, no? Prepayment. So you have to find out the total assets from this information because the total assets 1.958 million. So 1,958,000. So at the same time, the liability side is lower, 570,000. So the total liability also become 1,958,000. So the balance is capital. Okay. So the balance is capital. So balance capital 1,388,000. One million 388,000. So this is the capital. So the capital amount 1,388,000. Okay. So so this is the basic thing. First, you have to identify the capital. So you have to find out the capital. For that purpose, yes.
Sir, how we identify the prepayment is our side or customer side?
So actually, when we are preparing the financial statement, when we are preparing the accounts, taken as a we are the company. So the company side prepayment means already they have to pay it. So if it is a prepayment is given, so normally prepayment is given normally just only the prepayment. Prepayment is the advance. Otherwise, any prepayment done by the customers. If it is given, you can take it as a liability. So you assume that the prepayment normally in the company side is the advance, that is the assets. Okay. So if any sentence or any other things, prepayment from customers or prepayment of rent is given, so you can deduct that one. Okay. So this is the prepayment. Actually, the prepayment in the company side is the advance. So it is the assets. Yeah, so already we paid. Already we paid as a prepayment. So that is our assets. So we can do the assets. Okay. So these are the basic things. So up to that, we have to complete just simple calculate the capital. So next question is the all around. We will find out the each and everything from the third question. Okay. What about the third question? MC data wholesale fruit and vegetable merchant does not keep a full set of account record. So they didn't have the full set of record. Okay? However, the following information has been produced from the business record. So when analyzing the business record, we can receive something. The bank account is given. So the bank transactions are given. The opening balance, cash from receivables, sales of private yacht, sales of motorway van, payment to suppliers. So like that, there are some income and expenses recorded in the bank account. So the debit and credit are given. The assets and liability. In the opening assets liability, how much? Closing assets and liability, how much? Okay. All receipts are banked and all payment are made from the business bank account. So all the transactions through the bank. So there is no cash dealing. So all the transactions through the bank. So there is evidence from the bank account. So bank account keep all the things. The rate debt 300. There are some three additional information is given. The rate debt 300 owning by James and included in the rate receivable 31st August 2023 in the above written of the debt. So here something is given. Okay. Depreciation is given. Discount received during the year is given. So you have to prepare the income statement for the year ended and also statement of financial position. So from this question, First, you have to understand the information. So, bank information, assets information, additional information are given. So, when you have to prepare the incomplete record, first you have to identify. First, you have to put some ledger. Then you have to find out the appropriate transaction. For example, capital. So from the information, you have to find out the capital. Okay, opening capital you have to find. That is done by in the first question. Other things are you have to complete each and every ledgers. For example, uh, trade receivable account. So from the trade receivable account, within the information, you have to find out the particular. Sometimes you want to find out the cash. Sometimes you want to find out the closing balance. Sometimes you want to find out the credit sale. Sometimes you want to find out the cash sale. So according to the information, you have to balancing the ledger and the balancing the figure. You want to find out the balancing the figure. So the ledgers prepare for each and every. So after that, you have to from the ledger, you have to transfer the final statement. Sometimes some ledgers balance are transferred to income statement. Some ledgers balance are transferred to statement of financial position. So each and every ledgers are balanced. So sometimes the closing balance also given in the ledger, particular ledger. So you want to find out some balancing figure. Sometimes it may be a credit purchase, or sometimes it may be a cash purchase, sometimes it may be a opening balance of the particular account, sometimes it may be a some other balances. Okay. So ledgers, you have to prepare the ledgers. Each and every ledgers you have to prepare. From that ledgers, you have to transfer the particular state. Okay. So I will give the more models of the answers, how to prepare the answers. I will give you. So wait a minute. Wait. Bye. Riva. What about, shall we discuss in this question is next class? Because I think not enough time, 30 minutes is not enough. Students, can you discuss in this next class or?
Okay, sir.
Okay, the thing is, you have to read this question and first you will do, okay? If it is, sometime you cannot find the answer, just you have to read this question and get the idea, and you will come to the next class. So I will inform the time later. So you have to prepare these accounts and all the things in next class. So before that, please pass the students to message to other students. So the attendance is important. So the faculty board decided 80% as attendance must be for the online. Okay. So this is the faculty board decision. So as a head of the department, I want to give the report to the faculty board. So therefore, inform to other students, those who did not fail did not meet the 80% attendance. It is make some interruption in your examination. Okay. So already I think, did you apply for your examination? Did you apply? That is up to you.
Sir.
Yes. Okay. So please inform to other students. So this is the decision in the faculty board from this year onwards, January onwards. We have to, again, I have said 80% attendance is important. So that is up to you. So inform, pass this message to all other students. Okay. So we have take the decision. So head of the department can 80% to the examination. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. We will meet on next class, most probably tomorrow. So before that, you have to do this question. So not doing the full question, you have get the idea. You have get some fact and all the things. So you will come with next class. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.